Finally! Pacific! It's almost a religious moment.
Welcome to Pacific side.
So it's been a busy day, lot of last minute things, and 3 times the schedule a bit rescheduled. Hopefully now it's gonna be our turn, and we are here to celebrate together with Juanjo.
Cheers,
Hey,
cheers,
cheers,
hey.
salute, salute, amigo.
I'm not sure if this. Let me rewind. I'm not sure if this is happening. It might get, change again, but that's what you get for being be free. You have no schedule, so sorry, Thomas. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite crazy. Like 3 years ago we had the same chairs, like, okay, now we're gonna go, and then we tried another time, and now all good things are 3 chairs.
Salud.
Salute.
Being ready to go with nice and clean cabins for our line handlers and lots of last minute maintenance on Be Free would not gone so smooth without the effort from G as well. Together we made this race against the clock possible. Thank you. See you soon. Be free. It's finally happening. Be Free is going through the Panama Canal. After so many challenges with the last years of ups and downs, I'm now at the entrance of my lifelong dream. The dream of crossing the Pacific Ocean. Leaving Shelter Bay Marina with line handlers on board to anchor outside at the flats for the night. Pilot or transit advisor is coming on board tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock, or in the middle of the night as I like to call it. We will have 1 day transit through the entire canal, so we have to start early. And I have lots of thoughts in my head, not only because of this big moment in this adventure, but the fact that Be Free is going to be in charge as the center boat during this transit. Meaning it will be less work for my crew, but more focus needed for me as the skipper. Almost like a child at Christmas Eve, I'm excited and even think it's gonna be difficult to get the rest I need before we start the transit. So my plan is to have a nice dinner once we have anchored outside, and then go early to bed.
And you board after how much time? After what time you will board?
Not so often I make food for 5 people at the same time out at anchor, but this time it's for 5 people. Everyone needs nice food during this transit, and it's also a minimum standard required for the pilot tomorrow. One of the things is to have unopened bottles with drinking water for the pilot. Pretty reasonable demands if you ask me, as the water quality on board could vary as much as the maintenance on different boats. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're having our coffee, and the crew is already up. And now we are only waiting for the advisor, so see if the pilot boat is coming here. For the canal transit you need a pilot or transit advisor on board. You are also required to have 4 people as line handlers in addition to the skipper. Meaning Be Free is now having 3 other crew members on board, and I choose to hire 1 professional via my agent and 2 volunteers I found in the marina.
Be free, be free. Yeah. Okay, this is the position. Yeah. We are 3 sailboats.
Yeah.
This sailboat going to be in the middle.
Yeah.
2 other sailboats, port side and starboard side.
Yeah.
We will provide the long lines.
Yes.
The blue lines. Yeah. Okay, blue lines.
Right away we could also experience a very friendly and professional advisor on board. He had good pre-brief with the crew how things will work out while being on our way to the first set of locks in the pitch black dark night. Once the boats that's gonna be our team through the locks were tied up hip to hip, we could start our move into the first chamber, starting our elevation up to the Gatun lake. Even though I done this 5 times before, it's the first time with B3, and now it starts to be real to me. B3 is making her move towards the Pacific. Some of the rumors about crazy increase of the transit cost is only partly true. If you have a smaller boat, it's true. If you have a bigger boat, it's basically the same as I prepaid before the pandemic 3 years ago. The reason is now it's the same price for a 27 footer as it's for a 57 footer as B3 was measured to be. My total expense for the entire transit, including agent, line handlers and food and so, is around $3,200 US. So, as a funny side note, for every gate that closed behind us here, it has costed $533 if you divide it on the number of locks. So we are in the first chamber, so we managed successful to get 3 boats in. I think we did well, so yeah. Good. Yeah, so we are almost done with the first lock. Can already see the bridge, leaving the Caribbean side behind. So this is basically the Atlantic Ocean. Soon it's the freshwater Gatun Lake, and then eventually, if everything goes well, we will be in the Pacific. It's epic. Quite a moment, yeah.
Right now, in Gatun locks, at the Gatun locks, the first chamber, we need 2 more chambers to go. Right now we have 3 boats nested with the lines from the outside boat to the bollards, waiting for this vessel to move to go to the next chamber. Well, right now it's 5:20 to 5:30 in the morning, very early. It's a long way distance to go to the Pacific, okay?
The good thing of being the center boat is that you have the side boats, the sailboats on the side is the one that has to do the hard job through the locks. They have to tighten up, and when we go down they have to feed out the slack. So yeah, it's good. It's chill to be in the middle. On each side of the channel there is also line handlers that throws the monkey fist with lines to the boats on each side. They are walking alongside while we go 3 knots into the chambers, where they fix the ropes, and then the line handlers on board have to pull in the slack while the water lifts us up. This is an important task during the time inside the chambers, making sure the entire fleet stays in the middle, with the strong currents that comes when water is floating in. Once we were out of the first set of 3 locks, we can untie the flotilla and be free again during our passage on the famous Gatun Lake. This is where you will spend most of the time during the canal transit, and almost feels like an endless journey still surrounded with beautiful landscape, and for me an everlasting hope to spot a crocodile. It's soon time for lunch, and we have been a bit too fast through the lake, meaning we have to wait in front of the last set of locks. This gives us a great opportunity to have a nice relaxing lunch, all together at the same time. Approaching the waiting area where we can tie up to a mooring, we could spot the amazing Chris White yacht that left Bocas del Toro at the same time we were there. Going the route we are doing means you will see friends and other sailboats now and then at new locations, enforcing the statement that it's never a goodbye, more a see you later.
¿Pausado? Ah, okay.
But it did not take long before we got the message we had to prepare. So again, we had to move on to get ready to take our buddy boats alongside, hip to hip, knowing there is only 3 locks ahead taking us down to the Pacific Ocean.
No es muy grande.
Getting closer to the Miraflores lock, we have to sneak in front of a big ship as we are going into the chambers first. Lots of currents from tugboats and a narrow passage made everyone a bit focused, but you can also feel the excitement. For B3, it was a good feeling having twin rudders, making her really easy to dictate the maneuvers. The yellow tower, we are in the first locker down to the Pacific. The first lock of 3 locks, and the last lock is the Miraflores, and I can see it from here. That's Pacific! It's crazy. This is the most famous lock on the entire transit, and it's called Miraflores. It's a visitor center here with big balconies for tourists to watch boats going through the canal. And of course, we knew it's a webcam here, so we managed to screenshot a photo of our flotilla. Miraflores is the second last lock to go through, before entering salt water again. The last set of locks is famous for having a bit challenging currents, so it's advised to have some speed out of the chamber. But first we have to go through this short channel before we enter the last lock that will take us down to sea level again. The tide difference in Panama City now is 5 meters and 40 centimeters, or almost 18 feet. This is something to keep in mind, finding a place to drop the anchor when we're done here. Before entering the chambers, you will go closer to port side first to pick up the first set of lines. Then move a bit closer to starboard side for the same reason. And when all lines are received, trying to stay in the center as good as possible. Yes! Finally! Pacific! It's almost a religious moment.
Welcome to Pacific Side.
Cheers.
So much.
After we are out of the most busy part and having more space, the pilot boat will come and pick up the canal advisor. Later, a panga will come and pick up our lines and fenders and give our line handlers a ride to shore as well. For this service, I paid $12. Very good. Thank you for well done and personal. Yes, very happy. Bye. So, there they go. Be free is again just the two of us. That's amazing. It's really nice. We were lucky with the line handler, the professional liner. We were very lucky with the advisor, and we had two really nice and friendly Danish guys also. So we, all in all, really good crossing. Now it's time to find an anchor. Not find an anchor, but a place to drop the anchor. And just like that, Be Free is finally anchored in the Great Pacific. A new ocean and new adventures ahead. A lifelong dream with the last 3 years full of challenges is behind. Soon we will be setting sails towards west, towards the most remote places on Earth. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't already, we would really appreciate to see you subscribe. Then I guess it's not much more to say than thank you to G for making all these videos. Because without her, it would not be so much amazing materials on this episode. Okay, cheers. Hope to see you back. New adventures.
Singing my